The words hit like a slap, sharp and stinging, her voice slicing to the hum of the crowded cafe. My girlfriend, Lena, sat across from me, her manicured nails tapping the edge of her latte mug, her lips pursed as if she'd just tasted something sour. "Your accent," she said again, softer but no less cutting. "It's embarrassing. Just don't talk when we're around my friends, okay?" My fork froze halfway to my mouth, the bite of cheesecake crumbling in my grip. The air felt heavy, thick with the scent of roasted coffee and the low murmur of strangers' conversations. I stared at her, my throat tightening, searching her hazel eyes for a trace of the warmth I'd fallen for 2 years ago. There was none. I forced a laugh, the sound brittle, like glass about to shatter. "You're joking, right?" My voice, laced with the rolling cadence of my Jamaican roots, felt suddenly foreign in my own mouth. Lena's gaze flicked to the window, avoiding mine, her fingers twisting a strand of auburn hair. "It's not a big deal, Marcus," she said, her tone clipped. "It's just, you know how they are. They're particular." Particular. The word lodged in my chest like a splinter. I wanted to ask who they were, why their judgment mattered more than me, but the cafe's clinking cups and hissing espresso machine drowned out my courage. That night, alone in our apartment, the silence was louder than her words. The living room, with its mismatched thrift store furniture and the faint scent of her lavender perfume, felt like a stage where I no longer knew my lines. I replayed her request. Don't talk. My accent, the rhythm of my childhood in Kingston, the lilt my mother called our song, was something to hide. I scrolled through my phone, thumb hovering over her texts. There was one from last night, sent while I was at work. "Dinner with the crew tomorrow. Be there." No mention of her friends' names, no details. Just a command. My gut twisted, a quiet warning I brushed off as paranoia. The next evening, we arrived at an upscale rooftop bar, all glass and steel, the city skyline glittering like a promise. Lena's friends were already there, a tight-knit group of polished professionals, their laughter sharp and exclusive. I felt their eyes on me, assessing, as Lena introduced me with a tight smile. "This is Marcus," she said, her hand barely grazing my arm. I nodded, my lips sealed, her words in the cafe echoing like a gag order. The conversation flowed around me. Stock markets, weekend getaways, names I didn't recognize. I sipped my drink, the ice clinking against the glass, and watched Lena. She was radiant, her laughter easy, her hand lingering too long on the arm of a man named Ethan. Ethan, lean, confident, with a voice as smooth as the bourbon he swirled. He spoke with the kind of polished ease that screamed privilege, no trace of an accent to mark him as other. Lena leaned closer to him, her eyes sparkling in a way they hadn't for me in months. A memory flashed, her phone buzzing late at night, her quick dismissal, just work. The way she started staying out later, claiming client dinners. My chest tightened, but I rationalized it. She's networking. She's ambitious. I'm overthinking. As the night wore on, the group moved to a quieter corner, and I caught fragments of their whispers. "He's sweet, but doesn't quite fit, does he?" Lena didn't defend me. Instead, she laughed, a sound that felt like a betrayal. I excused myself, the rooftop's cool air doing little to calm the heat rising in my chest. In the bathroom, I splashed water on my face, staring at my reflection. My dark eyes, my locks, my heritage, they were mine. Why did they feel like a liability? Back at the table, I saw it. Ethan's hand resting on Lena's knee under the table, her fingers brushing his in a way that wasn't accidental. My heart thudded, a drumbeat of denial and rage. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but my voice, my embarrassing voice, felt trapped. Instead, I sat silent, as Lena's laughter mingled with his. The city lights blurred through the tears I refused to let fall. Later, in the cab ride home, Lena stared out the window, her silence louder than the city's hum. "You okay?" she asked, her voice flat. I want to confront her, to spill every doubt, but the words caught in my throat. "Yeah, I lied, my accent thick, defiant." She flinched just slightly, and that's when I knew. It wasn't just my voice she was ashamed of, it was me. At home, I found her phone on the counter, unlocked. A text from Ethan glowed on the screen. Can't wait for tomorrow night. Just us. My world tilted. The betrayal wasn't suspicion anymore. It was a blade, cold and undeniable. I stood there, the phone trembling in my hand, as Lena called from the bedroom, "Marcus, you coming?" Her voice was soft, but it carried a lie I could no longer ignore. I set the phone down, my heart splintering. Tomorrow, I'd confront her. Tomorrow, I'd find my voice. But tonight, I let the silence speak, its weight heavier than any words I could have said.